Hello, Artful Manifestors. Thank you for joining me for this timeless pick a card tarot reading. This is a channeled reading, and whenever you come across it is when you're meant to hear it. To choose your reading, you're going to choose from one of the crystals I'm about to introduce or one of the cards I'm going to reveal. For reading number 1, we have Grape, Agate. And for reading number 2, we have Pink, Tourmaline. And for reading number 3, Zebra, Calcite. All right, let's look at the cards. For the first reading, Air Dragon. For reading number 2, Water Dragon. And for reading number 3, Earth Dragon. Let your intuition be your guide. Whichever crystal or dragon you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Of course, you're always welcome to listen to 2 or even all 3 of the readings. If you feel drawn to more than one, perhaps there are more messages and guidance for you there. Enjoy your reading. Hello, reading number 1. You chose Grape, Agate. One of my favorite crystals, so beautiful. It attunes you to the higher planes of consciousness, particularly those connected with the crown and third eye chakras. It heightens clairvoyance, telepathy, and dream work, helping you receive clear, intuitive impressions and divine guidance. Its rounded formations mirror wholeness and calm. Meditating with Grape Agate encourages a quiet mind and a tranquil heart, easing spiritual overwhelm or psychic fatigue. It invites you into the stillness where divine insight naturally arises. It's known as a seer's stone and gently enhances clairvoyance, claircognizance, and prophetic dreaming. It's ideal for healers, energy workers, readers, seeking to refine their spiritual sensitivity while staying grounded. Because its structure is made of many small spheres forming one cluster, it carries the frequency of unity consciousness, reminding you that we are all unique expressions of one source. This makes it an excellent ally for group healing, circles, drum circles, sacred creative endeavors. And it forms a natural shield of calm awareness around the aura. It wards off psychic clutter and stabilizes the energy field, helping sensitive souls feel safe as they expand into their spiritual gifts. And the card that you chose, Air Dragon, is about clearing fog of confusion. So you can think of air dragons as coming through, sweeping away mental clutter, dispelling anxious thought patterns, and restoring lucid perception. When their energy moves through you, ideas flow easily, communication becomes effortless, and intuition takes a crystalline precision, like sunshine on morning mist. These dragons dwell near the celestial realms of angels, elementals, and ascended beings. They help you receive guidance through synchronicities, dreams, or gentle nudges, subtle whispers in the wind. Those attuned to air dragons often notice sudden inspiration, as if a divine idea had landed right in your lap. Whether it's something to be written, spoken, sung, painted, they also help with transformation through breath. Air dragons teach that alchemy of prana, life force. So they can assist you in meditation, breath work, and energy healing by showing you how to move and release stagnant energies through that exhale. Breathing with their presence awakens vitality, renewal, and ascension energy into the subtle body. And they remind you that you are not your thoughts. They lift you above old stories, identities, and attachments so you can view your life from the higher vantage point of the soul. With their guidance, you begin to trust the unseen, navigate change with grace, and live in alignment with flow rather than fear. They clear energetic static from your field. Their energy restores harmony between the left and right hemispheres of the brain and the currents of energy moving through the chakras. You might even notice, maybe some of you already have, sensations like tingles or breezes or just a sudden calm after air dragon has been called upon or entered your life. Signs that they are helping you balance your energy field. All right, let's find out more from the tarot. Ten of Swords. So we have air dragon, the element of air, and swords are the element of air also. And we see this is, with a 10, something coming to an end, a thought pattern or belief that's held you back. Five of Cups. Scarcity thoughts, beliefs around scarcity, whether that's emotional scarcity or resources. A belief about that is being swept away by air dragon. And Page of Cups. The new beliefs you're beginning to nurture and cultivate. All right, let's look at these cards a little more deeply as they combine with the energies of the Grape, Agate, and the Air Dragon. Remember that air is about thoughts, words, communication, and what I see is that there's something that happened in the past that you've been carrying with you energetically. And it's been this cycle that seems to keep re-emerging in your life. The good news is that it's coming to an end. As I said, tens are about completion. And what we see here is surrender of the mind. So every old thought that pierced, every illusion has been exhausted. It is the end of distortion. It's the end of seeing your life through the lens of that old wound. It's the death of mental noise. These swords symbolize old stories, beliefs, ideas, thoughts that have run their course. And you're now in this phase of restoring lucid perception. And to do that, you're beginning to allow these stories to die completely without clinging to them or trying to resurrect them in subtler forms. You're letting these stories get blown away by winds, new winds of freshness. And you can invite this by focusing on your breath and even saying in your mind that you're inhaling clarity and peace and you're exhaling what no longer serves you. Even if you don't know consciously what that original wound was that set this spiral of energy into motion, that's okay. You can still see that whatever it was, you don't have to know what it was. You can detach from it. It's run its course. It's like it lost momentum. When it first happened, it was powerful, and it may have taken months, even years, for this energy to die out, but it is coming to an end. It's losing its momentum is the best way I can describe it. It doesn't have the energy to keep going anymore. It's just run out of steam. So breathe out the old and breathe in the new, the awareness, the clarity. You can even open your windows and invite the wind to come in and clear out anything that has run its course and is no longer serving you. You can do a mind detox, avoiding the opinions of others, avoiding the news, social media, anything, any kind of chatter that's going to cloud your own mental energy, drain your own mental energy. And if there is wind, if it happens to be windy and you can stand outside and catch that wind, just stand out there and let it cleanse your subtle bodies, your aura, your energetic field. If you don't, then you might enjoy a gentle fan, some moving air. Usually, if you open all your windows and you can even open your doors, you'll feel that breeze, and that will be enough to invite in the air dragon's energy and help clear away this old story. And your second card, the Five of Cups, is, we see this figure looking at these three cups that are broken or spilled, and their back is turned on these two cups that are full, where there's growth, there's life. So, what's coming into your life to replace these old stories is the awareness of inspiration and synchronicities flowing around you constantly. So the Five of Cups is the teaching of turning around and facing the future. This is the past, and you're cutting the cords to the past. You're turning around and looking at the blessings that you have, at the synchronicities coming towards you, the resources, the right people at the right time. It's a shifting of perception from what's gone to what still flows. It's always been there, but you've just had it on the wrong channel. You've been looking again through the lens of that wound. And inspiration is like air, it moves freely, but it's almost like you have to capture it and anchoring it down. So when your heart releases the grip of disappointment, then a rush of fresh energy fills the void. It needs that space. So when you start to notice a little pang of regret or sadness, pause and literally turn your body 180 degrees. Face the opposite direction and say, I honor what was, and I turn towards what wants to be. This physical act retrains your energy to face the unseen blessings that are often right behind you. So the Five of Cups is not punishment, it's a recalibration of focus. And that's what I see happening is this little tweak. And because you have the Ten of Swords first, I feel you've already done so much work. And because it came up as the first card, again, this is something that you've been working on for a while. And there's just this little tweak of now it's time to see the future. It's calling you to notice what has endured, which friendships. There's Agnes, if you can hear her. She's wants you to pay attention to this. They always bark when I'm hitting on something important. Creative impulses, inner nudges that keep returning, right? They keep coming back. See this little boat flowing to you, right? All you have to do is turn around and see that your ship is coming in. And it looks like this light is right there. So again, it's like turning around and seeing the light, softening grief into gratitude. You may notice feathers, numbers, songs, or dreams. This is a way that the air dragon communicates to you. And it's so interesting looking at the three figures. We have this one in this pose of surrendering with this flower, right? Opening the third eye, the crown, and it even looks like the heart, the throat chakra, possibly the heart chakra as well. But you see they're being illuminated. See that light. There's that light as well. Here's this flower, and then here's these flowers in your future, the growth in your future. This is ending, this pain, this sorrow. You're turning towards the light, towards the future, towards what's growing, what's endured. And now you wear the flower as a crown. It's open. And this one looks like a lotus, a symbol of that spiritual awakening. It even looks like there's what is in the cup. Can you see that? It's like a little world, like you're drinking in this new world. Well, it's like you've stepped into another timeline uh, where you're living your best life. You're drinking that in, and you're going from air, your head, in your head, your thoughts, these old thoughts that keep coming up, to cups, which is fulfillment. The page is the inner artist, the intuitive child, the open-hearted dreamer. They create from feelings, imagination, and trust in the invisible currents. So you're beginning to trust again. Trust more than you did. Trusting yourself, trusting source, trusting your ability to co-create with source, to create the life you desire, to fall in love with possibility again, to let imagination lead before reason intervenes. And the understanding, you're beginning to understand that manifestation isn't done through strict control, but through curiosity, asking questions. Let's see where this leads. That following those inspirations. I feel like doing this. Let's do that and see what happens, who I meet, what I see, what I learn. Being curious. And you're letting your visions just kind of drift upward like bubbles. And you're simply breathing them into being. Almost like you're just spontaneously and unconsciously singing as you prepare this tea, or humming, and you're kind of like daydreaming about something that you want. Like, oh, wouldn't that be nice? But you're not trying to control it or make it happen. It's just kind of like, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And that little thought bubble floats up to the other realms. Remember, Grape, Agate connects us to those higher realms. So it's like your crown chakra has a clear channel to the ether. And these little thought bubbles of, wouldn't it be nice if that happened? As you just casually stir your tea or your coffee, and then that wonderful thing happens. Somebody comes in and says, you know, oh, here's this. And you're like, I was just thinking about that, or I just thought about that last week, and here it is. That's where your life is headed. That's what's becoming. You may have even started to notice it. And you can invite these things in intentionally as well. You can every morning pour water into a cup and hold it at your heart level and whisper your desire. Again, not as a demand, but as a devotion, and just visualize it like a little bubble floating into the ether. And drinking with gratitude. And throughout your day, notice what makes you happy, what excites you, what makes your heart flutter. Maybe it's an idea, an image, a smell, a conversation, somebody that you meet. The Page of Cups speaks through joy. So record these little sparks. They are divine breadcrumbs leading you toward the life you wish to live. So notice them. You are this cup, ready to be filled with inspiration, with joy, because you have made space by letting go of this energetic pattern that has played out its story. Wow. Spirit is moving through you, and you're going to begin to create and manifest exactly what you want with very little effort, just by following those little nudges, following those little breadcrumbs of joy and inspiration. And you're going to receive synchronicities that align with your best path. I love it. And I also see you just being more clear cognizance, where you just know something, you just have an understanding. You just know that going to this thing that you were invited to is going to lead to something, and then it does. And you're going to see the evidence, and then that excitement builds momentum. So it's like this old story is losing its momentum, diminishing, disappearing, gone. And in its place begins this other inspiration, these other little sparks. And the more that you follow them and the more that you see that they lead to what you want, it gains momentum, and the spiral goes the other direction. It's like I see this big spiral over here getting smaller, 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 and it disappears. And then here is this other spiral getting bigger, 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 attracting more of what you want. So beautiful. Reading number 1. So happy for you. This is great news. Please let me know if it resonates. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. You chose the pink tourmaline, which opens and balances the heart chakra, transmuting pain, fear, or shame into forgiveness and softness. It teaches that emotions are not burdens to fix, but sacred currents of energy meant to be felt, honored, and released. Spiritually, this stone restores the ability to feel safe within vulnerability, which is this first step toward authentic connection and spiritual intimacy. It is a stone of compassionate awakening. It harmonizes with angelic frequencies, especially those of Archangel Shamael and Ariel, encouraging compassion for self and others. It lifts you out of judgment and comparison, helping you see yourself and others through the eyes of the soul. This awakening often brings about empathic clarity, the ability to feel deeply without drowning in others' energy. And it resonates with the divine mother principle, nurturing, protective, and creative. It heals the inner child and reconnects you with your innate innocence and emotional wisdom. It soothes patterns of self-abandonment, replacing them with self-love and gentle sovereignty, a feeling that you are held and worthy simply because you exist. Just like a mother, right? By aligning you with love's vibration, pink tourmaline acts as a magnet for heart-centered connections, friendships, partnerships, and collaborations that mirror your spiritual growth. It teaches discernment between karmic entanglement and soul resonance, helping you recognize when love is mutual, respectful, and evolutionary. While gentle, pink tourmaline forms a soft, energetic cocoon around your aura, shielding against harshness, criticism, or emotional absorption. It's especially beneficial for empaths and healers, helping you stay open hearted without depletion. It refines your energy so that you respond from love rather than react from pain. And it blends the air element of thought with the water element of feeling, teaching the soul how to think with compassion and feel with awareness. It bridges intellect and intuition, grounding emotional wisdom into daily choices so that love becomes not just a feeling, but a living philosophy. And the card that you chose is Water Dragon. Water dragons move through the emotional body like a cleansing tide, washing away resentment, sorrow, and energetic residue. They help you feel what you've avoided, not to relieve pain, but to transmute it. When you allow the current to move through you, tears become sacred saltwater baptisms, cleansing the soul of heaviness and restoring clarity. These dragons open the inner waters of perception, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and dream messages. They heighten your sensitivity to subtle realms, teaching you to interpret emotional undercurrents, symbols, and synchronicities as forms of divine communication. Their energy aligns with the moon and the tides, making them perfect allies for dream work, scrying, and lunar rituals. Water dragons teach the sacred art of non resistance. I'm thinking of Jet Li saying, "Be like water." If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up later. It's all about flow, trust, and surrender. They remind you that transformation often requires softening, yielding, and trusting what is unseen. When you are swept by change, calling on water dragon energy helps you stay fluid and adaptable, transforming uncertainty into faith. They refine your emotional awareness, guiding you to feel deeply without drowning. Water dragons help empaths strengthen boundaries while keeping the heart open. Their presence brings calm discernment. You begin to understand your emotions as waves passing through, not permanent definitions of who you are. And water holds memory. We have Austin Veda and Dr. Emoto Matsuru that have really dived into this, and those are two more people for you to, two more things for you to look up later if you don't know what I'm talking about. So they water dragons guard the archives of your ancestral line, past lives, and soul contracts. When you commune with them, old wounds or patterns may rise to the surface so that you can begin to release them into the healing current. And they also help with creativity and sacred expression. Water dragons awaken this creative current, reminding you to express emotion is to give spirit a voice. So if you've been feeling creatively blocked recently or emotionally numb, they return movement, sensuality, and inspiration to your life's river. And like the pink tourmaline, water dragons embody the divine feminine principle, receptive, intuitive, and wise. They help you align with lunar rhythms, cycles, intuitive knowings that dwell in silence. All right, let's find out more with the tarot. I'm already feeling that you are very, I'm hearing empathic, but more than that, cognizant, clairvoyant, and there's a word for it. There's 5 different clairs. I think it's clairsentient. I'm not sure, but it's the one where you feel things. Now, these could be emotional feelings, but it can also be physical sensations. And that is, it's like it's like when you see an animal whose whiskers twitch or their ears perk up, you know, it's like you have this sixth sense where you sense the energies in the currents of the ether, and you are fine tuning that right now. It's like you're leveling up in that, you're refining that skill so that you can better discern exactly where those vibrations are coming from. Like a spider on its web, believe it or not, they can discern what those vibrations are. They don't react to every vibration they feel in the silk. Sometimes it's wind, sometimes it's prey, sometimes it's a leaf caught, and they're able to discern. They can even tell different kinds of footprints or vibrations, stepping on their web. So it's like you're getting really good at that. All right. How exciting. Let's find out more about that. The Devil. Six of Cups. And Ace of Pentacles. All right. We start with the Devil, which so many people are afraid of this card, but it's really misunderstood. It's an archetype that appears to answer the question how you can refine your clairsentience and discern the meaning and source of the sensations you experience as a sensitive person, as an empath. And it's not warning of darkness, it is revealing the places that energy hooks into you. So it's the sacred mirror of attachment, projection, and energetic entanglement. So it's coming as a teacher of mastery through awareness of resonance. So clairsentience, the gift of feeling energy, is pure perception. And the lesson here with the devil is discernment through detachment. When you unconsciously attach to the emotions or vibrations you sense, your field becomes blurred with others' frequencies. So, what that might feel like is you're around somebody and you get an uncomfortable feeling, and then the ego comes in and judges that person because you were feeling this discomfort as if it were yours. It's like there's everything gets blurry and mixed up and intermingled, and you didn't realize that you were actually feeling the discomfort of that other person. You were feeling how they felt. And so you're learning how to unhook these energies and observe them and feel them, but from a distance almost, more detached. So the devil's teaching you to notice these points of contact where you feel guilt, fear, sometimes fascination towards somebody else's energy current. Because every hook is an invitation to reclaim sovereignty. The first step is in discernment is to ask, does this feeling belong to me, or did I agree to carry it? Did I agree to notice it? So this could be part of your soul's purpose, is to be open to others' energy to perhaps help them move through it. And there's different ways to do that, but the first step is to discern it, to figure out, is this your feeling or is this somebody else's? So just asking that question, does this feeling belong to me? The devil is also the alchemist of polarity, the bridge between light and dark. So refining your clairsentience, you want to observe the sensation without possession. So if you feel another person's anger, grief, or longing, maybe instantly you already know that it's not yours, or maybe you asked the question and you figured out that it's not yours. Understand that this is just data, it's information, it's not your identity. You can acknowledge its presence without swimming in it, without merging with it. So internally, you can say, I witness this vibration, but I do not become it. I witness this vibration, but I remain sovereign. I honor it and then release it to the light. So this transforms empathy into clarity and compassion without confusion. So that act right there, I honor it and release it to the light, right there can help somebody else's journey with whatever energy that they're experiencing at that time. Also, you can name the hook, that energetic hook. So when you feel a sudden emotion, or sometimes again, it's a bodily sensation, what story or image arises when I feel this? So naming it reveals the tether, and awareness unhooks. When we deny something, that's what binds us. Those are the chains. But when you honor it, when you name it, you can release it. And of course, you can do things like sage. You can practice exhaling and cutting cords, all of these things to clear your energy, taking a shower. And what I see is that those sensations, once you name them, they won't feel as uncomfortable. You'll just begin to understand, oh, okay, I feel this. Does it belong to me? No. Who does it belong to? Okay. That whole process is going to help it to not feel, because you'll understand it's not yours. It won't feel as heavy or uncomfortable. So you're unhooking these tethers, these entanglements. And then you have the Six of Cups, which is like a balm after this work that you've done. So the Six of Cups shows you how to restore purity, how to feel again with innocence and sacred trust. It's like a child, that tenderness, that how a child would sense that something's wrong with somebody and ask, what's wrong? And they have sympathy for them and they want them to feel better, but they don't feel bad themselves. It's that kind of energy. So this card marks the clearing of inherited emotions, because the Six of Cups is also about the past. And sometimes the word nostalgia comes up, but it has to do with past memories. So there's a lot coming in right now. Part of it is, this is your sole purpose, to help others clear their energy. And also, because it's a card that's connected to the past, what I see is that you went through an initiation at a young age, which was something that it was like a portal, okay? It's wounds or portals. So you experience this something, and you went through this portal, and because of this experience, it was your initiation into this clairsentience. And now you're older, you're more mature, you're more powerful, and you're able to see the gift from this wound and share it. Also, what's coming through is that you're clearing away ancestral, karmic, and collective energies. So your clairsentience is being purified, and what remains is emotional truth, untainted by story. So you begin to sense energy the way children sense love, directly, innocently, without interpretation or fear. And it's not that you feel less, you simply feel what is real. And this reawakens joy, nostalgia, sweetness, the soul's natural sensitivity, once buried beneath survival defenses. And with discernment restored, your aura becomes a reflective pool rather than a sponge. So you're not absorbing other people's, you're able to see it with clarity. And sensations now appear as gentle ripples upon that clear water, revealing origin and meaning effortlessly. You can sense another's energy without absorbing it. You can feel collective emotion without losing your own center. And this makes your clairsentience both precise and compassionate, the mark of an embodied empath and healer. So remember that your feelings are messengers and guides, helping you to facilitate rather than carry. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles plants the clarity into living soil of your reality. So now it's time to ground your gifts. So what was once unseen and felt is ready to take form. The Ace of Pentacles is grounded magic. It's the embodiment of potential made tangible. It represents the moment when energy becomes matter. When your spiritual sensitivity begins to create something visible, useful, and blessed, it tells you that your clairsentience is not meant only for sensing energies, it's meant for anchoring them into action, healing, and creation. So again, there's many ways you can do this. You might be a massage therapist, you might be a physical therapist, you might be a Reiki healer, you might be a cranial sacral therapist, you might be an artist or a musician or a writer. And so you're taking things from the ether, from your experiences, and you're grounding them and anchoring them into new songs, new visions, new stories. And in that process, you're healing them. So beautiful. Wow. Please let me know if you've been contemplating creating something like that. I see you using this gift one way or another to help others, whether that's one at a time, one-on-one through Reiki healing sessions, therapy sessions, or for the masses with songs and books, artwork. Wow. Reading number 2. This is amazing. You're breaking the illusion of entanglement and you're sensing what you feel about others, and you're restoring the purity of your perception with clarity and compassion, feeling from love rather than fear. I mean, I see you being able to walk amongst many different crowds, many different types of people, whether it's in a professional arena or at a party. And I mean, it's almost regal that you have this ability to discern your energy from theirs and feel their energy with such clarity, but hold it with compassion. There's no judgment and no attachment. It's this detached love. It's really divine. And then some type of artistry or energy healing some tangible way that you are grounding this knowing, this feeling into a physical healing. Wow. Reading number 2, amazing. Please let me know if it resonates. I love to read your comments, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose Zebra Calcite, which reminds you that your light and shadow are not enemies. They are complementary frequencies. It teaches acceptance of all parts of yourself, integrating what you once judged or exiled. Spiritually, this creates wholeness, the ability to hold both tenderness and power, sorrow and joy, humility and confidence. And this crystal acts as a cycle. Um, I'm, I'm thinking too many things at once. A psychic cleanser, releasing heavy emotional energy, old grief, or stagnant fear that is settled in the aura or body. I really was drawn to this one because it kind of looks like a little knife, and I just see it being able to cut energetic cords. It works especially on the solar plexus and root chakras, grounding anxiety and transforming it into calm determination. And because it's layered, it creates a natural filter field around you, allowing love and truth to flow in while shielding you from manipulation or psychic clutter. And it can help you discern what is yours and what is not yours as far as energy goes, refining your intuition without emotional overload. It's grounding. It teaches that balance is maintained by standing firmly rooted in presence. It encourages self-trust, discipline, and quiet confidence that comes from consistency. It helps you bring those higher insights down into the body, embodying your spiritual lessons, and reminds you that enlightenment is not escape, but embodiment. It helps smooth chaos, realigning layers of energy and encouraging gentle self-regulation. It has a harmonizing frequency and can help facilitate peace after emotional turmoil. It's also great for deep meditation, dream work, dream integration, healing work. And the card that you chose is Earth Dragon. Earth dragons root your energy deep into the living consciousness of the planet. They teach you to find power in stillness. And when emotions swirl or psychic currents feel overwhelming, their presence stabilizes you, aligning your physical, emotional, and etheric bodies with the Earth's steady pulse. These dragons are master builders and architects of reality. They show you how to translate vision into matter, guiding manifestation from idea to form. And they bless those who plant seeds, whether they're literal seeds or metaphorical seeds. They teach you patience, timing, and the sacred cycles of growth and harvest. And earth dragons dwell near the ancestral lines of ley currents of the world. They hold memory, the DNA of the planet itself. Working with them can awaken awareness of your roots, helping you heal inherited patterns and reclaim ancestral gifts that might have been buried through the generations. Their energy is that of quiet endurance, slow, deliberate, unshakable. They teach the spiritual lesson of staying power, how to hold steady during transformation, and walk your path even when results are not yet visible. Spiritually, earth dragons help you anchor your light fully into the body. So it ends that false perception of a split between the spiritual and physical world, showing you that your body itself is divine soil through which spirit blossoms, grows. And earth dragons guard sacred spaces. They fortify energy fields, creating wards of peace and strength around homes, altars, and land. And they remind you that all sacred work, healing, art, manifestation, love follows the rhythm of earth time, not human impatience. All right, let's get some tarot cards and find out more about this. All right, we have the Seven of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. All right. This is such a beautiful reading of becoming. You're becoming. Starting with the Seven of Wands, which is a card of courage, boundaries, spiritual stamina. It's arriving when you stand upon sacred ground of your own becoming, higher ground. And you are learning to harmonize your light and shadow. Harmonizing your light and shadow is not meant to silence either of them, but to stand between them as a conscious bridge. The Seven of Wands teaches alignment through active embodiment. When challenges, whether they're inner conflicts or outer challenges, come up, you hold your ground, not with aggression, but with presence. It's like any past learned reactions that you developed in order to navigate and survive when you were younger, it's like they're gone. And now you're just present. So you're not distracting yourself. You're not avoiding something. You're not reacting with anger or fear. You're present. It's really powerful. You're it's like each of these wands is one of your own voices. You got a fearful self, a wounded self, a hopeful self, a brave self, an angry self. And you're at this point where you're like, it's like this higher self above these. It's like, I hear you, I see you, and I'm here. I'm whole. All of these are part of me, but now I am acting through the lens of my higher self. I'm speaking through the voice of my higher self. I'm seeing and acting as if my higher self. The shadow here is the tendency to, remember, fight or flight. Parts of you that feel like they're against your light. So this could also be perfectionism or guilt or self-doubt. But remember, this isn't, it's like you have this understanding that it's not a battle. They're not your enemies. They're guardians ensuring your strength is genuine. And you're beginning to sharpen your discernment and compassion and embrace your whole self. The light in this card is spiritual conviction. It's that fire that says, even when I feel small, I know my truth. It's the moment that you realize that every aspect of your being, even the shadow, protects the flame of your soul's purpose. You have this understanding that that critical mind, that scared voice inside you, they're all trying to help you. And now you're unifying them, making them stronger. Wow. And you're able to ascend and rise as a result. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. So this is what happens after the Seven of Wands, after that integration of all your parts, that harmonization, is that a word? Harmonizing of the light and shadow. You learn to walk through the places that once felt empty and discover that warmth was always there. It was just hidden under the frost, so to speak. This is the stage of integration where even after claiming your shadow and standing in your truth, there may still be moments of spiritual loneliness, physical fatigue, or these old scarcity stories resurfacing. This is the echo of the old paradigm, the last residue of separation consciousness. My guides are showing me somebody who quit an addiction, whether that was a substance, cigarettes, or vapes now, I guess, sugar. And they've gone, maybe a month, 6 months, a year, 6 years without this substance. And then something happens and they try it again. They take a drink of alcohol, they smoke a cigarette, they eat some sugar. And what they find is that it no longer feels the way it used to. It doesn't bring comfort. It's not in alignment with you anymore because you're not vibrating at the same frequency that you did when you used that substance. You're beyond it. So it it might feel like, oh, you stepped backwards, but it's actually showing you, no, you didn't step backwards. You're no longer that person. You're literally a different person. And that substance no longer aligns with you. It doesn't bring you energy or comfort or anything like that. It feels bad because you're above that now, right? You're whole, you're stronger. And so you're not abandoning yourself again, you're inviting yourself back in. So when you integrate your shadow and your light, parts of you that were excluded might speak up and say, okay, now you see me. Will you still love me? Even if I'm messy or needy or imperfect. And I just see you like, this leader of yourself that loves all parts of yourself. It's like a teacher that has a classroom with all the different little personalities, and that teacher cares about each and every student, no matter what their strengths or weaknesses are. And that's how you are with yourself now. You're embracing and loving all parts of yourself. And even if they start to worry again with feelings of unworthiness or feeling isolated or financial worry, you're beginning to anchor compassion in matter, to bring divine love all the way down to the physical and emotional layers of being. My guides are also showing me the book, The Tao, or the Tao of Pooh, like Winnie the Pooh, if you've ever read that book. All those different personalities are really aspects, archetypal aspects that we all have within us. And we've all been those different aspects at one point or another, and you're unifying them. So the discomfort of the Five of Pentacles is fertile soil. It's your deeper grounding. And you're beginning to trust the cycles of lack and abundance, knowing both belong to Earth's rhythm, just as we have winter and spring. And through them, you begin to feel that security is an inner frequency, not a possession. So after the Seven of Wands, you've claimed both your light and your darkness. And the Five of Pentacles now ask you to apply that acceptance to your physical experience. To not only love your inner fire, but also your moments of emptiness, and to see beauty in the hunger that drives the seed to grow. It's your motivation to move forward, to grow, to expand, to reach higher planes. And as a result, remember I said this is a story of becoming. You're becoming the Queen of Wands. Sovereign, self-possessed, alive with creative fire. You're no longer battling shadow, but you're born from it. This queen embodies, and it doesn't matter if you're man or woman, this queen embodies the alchemy of fire made wise. You've been tempered. Your confidence doesn't come from perfection or applause or external validation, but from knowing yourself fully, your scars, your doubts, your brilliance, all of it. Where the Seven of Wands may have defended and the Five of Pentacles may have doubted, the Queen now simply stands radiant and unapologetic. Her energy flows outward effortlessly, warming others without depleting herself. The blessing now unfolding is authentic magnetism, a spiritual confidence that draws opportunities, allies, and inspiration towards you. You're not chasing anything, you're attracting it. Your intuition and your will have unified, allowing your magic to move through your hands, words, and your mere presence, all with precision and grace. This is the point where service and self expression merge. Your light serves others naturally without sacrifice or self loss. You being the brilliant example of your authentic self gives others permission to find their own authentic self, to love themselves wholly, flaws and all. This feels so powerful and so confident. I'm so excited for you. You've had the courage to face yourself, the humility to feel your humanity, and now the sovereignty to embody your soul. You've transmuted defense into discernment, scarcity into self-worth, and vulnerability into radiant leadership. And now your warmth, your radiance is medicine. Your authenticity is magic. Wow. Reading number 3. So powerful, so exciting. Please let me know if this resonates, and I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.